Good Sunday, everybody. Welcome to Barber Dave's Barbershop at Home. I'm Barber Dave, and we're back to doing our three-series video on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Today's going to be a little bit different. As most of you know, a fantastic actor passed away yesterday, Mr. Sean Connery. 1930 was when he was born. And one of the fragrances that's always been associated with James Bond is Floris number 89. Now, really, he never really used it, except in some of the books, but Ian Fleming was the one who really liked it. So I thought I'd do a tribute shave for him. And also, for one of my subscribers, longtime subscribers, Vicarardo Lorenzo, wanted me to do some tips and tricks on a DE shave. So today we're going to be using the British Aristocrat Open Comb number 15 with a King Gillette blade. Of course, the Floris 89 shave soap, followed by the Floris 89 Aftershave, and Floris 89 fragrance. And then for our brush today, another British knot, we're going to be using our Morris&Forndran Apolina. So I hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody had a safe and happy Halloween. But when speaking about Sean Connery, aside from the obvious, the Bond movies, he had a ton of other memorable roles, including obviously The Hunt for Red October, when he played in the Highlander series. Some of the cameos like in Robin Hood, just all around great stuff. But in my mind, he will always be the quintessential James Bond. You know, and just everything about those movies was great. In today's world, obviously, some of the political correctness is not there, but sorely missed. And what was amazing about Connery is so many of his lines have become part of nomenclature, like just one ping Vasily, or Bond, James Bond. But some of the movies that were kind of small movies overall were fantastic. Like The Rock with him and Nicolas Cage, The Citadel with him and Mark Harmon. Just good stuff. Okay, as far as the razor is concerned, being an open comb Vicarardo, this is a little bit more of aggressive of a razor. But, you see some people hold the razor like this. I try to hold the razor with 2 to 3 fingers tops and very light. I try to find the balance point of the razor and use that. And basically what I do is I'll take the razor, put it straight, and as soon as I hear the blade engage, that's the angle, which usually is about 30 degrees. And then I try to just let the razor fall down the face as much as possible. Using very light pressure. Now this razor is heavy enough to where it really doesn't require any pressure at all. And I usually do, there's a lot of people that'll do long single strokes. I do somewhat overlapping strokes. Just to make sure I get everything. And I know there's a discussion on our forum about with the grain passes only. And I think that that's possible, depending on what kind of shave you want. I shave BBS all the time, so I'm going to always do a 3-pass shave. But mapping your beard is the best way to determine what is with the grain, what is against the grain, and what is across the grain. Because for me, most people's against the grain is my across the grain. So this one is actually my across the grain pass. And same thing Vicoroto is I take and I find the balance point where it's the heaviest, and I'll hold it on that end, and literally with 2 to 3 fingers, and the third finger is more or less just a stabilization point, because there's 2 fingers right there, and just nice, smooth, even strokes. The Floris 89 is a nice, warm scent that can be used in fall, winter, and or summer because it's got some citrusy notes to it. What I will say is one of the few English hard soaps that lathers super easy. Super slick and full of cushion. Glide. Fairly decent residual for a triple milled hard soap, but other soaps that come to mind that are British hard soaps that actually lather well would be D.R. Harris, Arlington, Mitchell's Wool Fat, once you get the water correct. And that really, I mean, it limits it. And then, of course, the Floris soaps. And as far as I know, the only 2 Floris soaps that are available anymore are the 89 that I'm using today, and then, of course, the Elite, which is a much more summery, bright fragrance. Okay. Once again, Lorenzo, like I said, 2 fingers, and then I just use this as a stabilization point. And as far as blades, I don't shave with a DE that often anymore. But I have found that blades are highly personal. What works for some guys doesn't work for others. These King Gillette blades that came with the new release of the King Gillette DE are not bad. They're really not. Not quite as smooth as others, but pretty much the razor blades that I use in my arsenal are these King Gillette blades, simply because they came with it. Feather, high stainless, which again, because they came with my Feather ASD2, I use most of the feathers in my DX or SS straight. But for DE shaving here at home, the Astra SP has always been a staple. And then now I was able to get, my favorite blade of all time was the Polysilver SIs, and I was able to get some through Phil at Bull Goose. So thanks, Phil. And then the Nassets. I have not tried the Wizamets, but from what I've heard, the Wizamets are basically the Polysilver SIs. But who knows? So that's a 3 and out. Ricardo, if you have any questions as far as the DE stuff, please post it in comments. The one thing about this Aristocrat is very little cleanup is necessary. And this soap is slick enough to where you can do a water residual cleanup. And Vicoroto, if you haven't done some of the advanced techniques, you can do buffing where you don't lift, but be careful because you can cut yourself if you start doing vertical stuff. And then, of course, J hooking, which is literally just making a J in your thing. And you can get nicked, with especially with an aggressive razor like this. And then, of course, you could do the Gillette slide, which I do as well. So one of my favorite razors, because it took me forever to get it. And that blade might be going off. I think I'm on number 5 on this blade. So I'll use the Proraso Alum. Hardly any feedback. And that's it for Sunday shave. There's nothing like the quickness of a D, I will say that. And we'll go ahead and use the Floris 89 Aftershave. Just wonderful, citrusy, woody. The nutmeg really pops out on this, which makes it nice for for the fall, cooler months. Although, as most of you know, we were in the 30s last week as far as low temps, and now we're back in the 80s and 90s. So, go figure. Be using the Proraso, and as Nurse David mentioned, the powder itself is I think it's a eucalyptus. Not a eucalyptus. A rosemary and mint is the one that I've seen, and you buy it in bags, 300-gram bags, and then or 150-gram bags, and then you put it in this big tub, and this will hold 600 grams. So it's a monster. And for those of you that have not been using talc, that are wondering why talc, people don't realize when you're shaving, you're actually doing some damage to your skin, and you're removing a ton of moisture. Then you're putting it back in, and then if you use an alcohol-based splash, you're actually drying your skin and then tightening the pores. And what the talc does is actually just smooth out the shave, gets rid of the shininess. And it's just a nice, cleanly feeling. And it just, just makes it to finish the shave nicely. Okay, we'll go ahead and put the EDT. And then, of course, David's favorite part, Nurse Dave's favorite part, on the earlobes and down the neck. But that's my shave. Thank you for coming to Barber Dave's Barbershop at Home. We hope everybody has a blessed Sunday, and we'll see you next time around. Thanks.